Dear Christine and Colin, today is December 15th, 2020, and I had the great privilege of being one of the first people in the country to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. In this extraordinary, historic moment, the first thought that comes to my mind is the two of you. I want you to know what this moment means directly for me, instead of having to read it in the history books with the inevitable spin and bias of passing time. As I looked around the auditorium of all the healthcare workers, the relief was palpable. People were allowing themselves to feel some hope for the first time in what feels like a lifetime. Some people had tears in their eyes. Others were hugging for the first time in months. I was again struck by the level of bravery, selflessness, and compassion in that auditorium. These people got drafted into a war that no one signed up for, asked to care for a deadly virus and put themselves at risk, asked to bear witness to the suffering that occurs at the bedside. It will take us decades to process the images that we have seen through face shields and PAPRs. I thought of the patients for which this has come too late, for the families missing someone at their dinner table lost to COVID, or for one of the many secondary fatal consequences of this virus.
Estoy pensando en la mujer que está luchando por su vida este momento y su familia. Espero que ella sea la que traiga a sus hijos para vacunarse en unos meses. And then I thought how grateful I am for both of you, how both your smiles, your hugs, your interactions with each other, your silly stories have been the things getting me through these dark months. I can't begin to express what the two of you mean to your dad and I. You are our everything. And because I know the most important thing in the world is keeping both of you safe and coming home safely to both of you, I know how important it is to give every bit of myself to make sure other moms can do the same. Every person in that auditorium was awestruck, humbled, and extraordinarily grateful to the scientific community for this modern-day moon landing. You'll read in your history books what a truly exceptional feat this was, but I pray you will both remember this through your dad's eyes. The scientific community took on a virus that Dr. Fauci called more complicated than HIV, shouldered the intense pressure of knowing that every day that passed, more people were dying and more disease was spreading, and battled the misinformation and distrust that I'm sure this moment will come to be famous for. And in all of that, they entangled this intensely complicated biologic puzzle and proposed this elegant mRNA solution. I have looked to your dad to translate all of this language that is foreign to me. I have breathed my only sighs of relief when he tells me that Francis Collins has updated the Zoom call he was on to say that the data for the vaccines looked promising, that the scientific community was making mind-bending progress while the world was imploding. I hope the two of you remember what we told you again and again. Daddy's work will discover the way to stop the germs, and Mommy's work will take care of people until we have a shot and deliver the shot when it's available. I hope the new definition of superhero holds. I hope you realize how exceptional the village that cared for you was, how brave the team at Country Peas was to care for you at risk to themselves so Mom and Dad can go to work, how extraordinary everyone in your family was to obsess over ways to continue to connect when we had to be apart and serve as your rock-solid foundation, how lucky we are and were to have such selfless and extraordinary friends and colleagues that come into your orbit and inspire you. But most important, your dad and I feel so lucky to have both of you in our lives. You are our inspiration. You are why we get out of bed every day. And you are why we so compulsively attack the challenges presented at both of our jobs to make a better world. We love you both more than you will ever know, possibly until you have your own children. Stay safe, and I hope you're reading this during much better times.